you need to be good at pattern recognition, and that's what gets somebody strong at anything. I mean, you look at, why is Amazon doing so well? He realized one pattern was valued over anything else: convenience, right? If you look at Tom Brady, a friend of mine, he's got pattern recognition like nobody else at 43 years old. He's able to do things no one dreamed could be done. He's got more Super Bowl rings than any team. So I said, I want to go to the best people on earth and see, what do they see that none of us see? What's the pattern? Then you got to learn pattern utilization. It's one thing to see it, it's another thing to use it. And then if you're good after a while, you get to pattern creation. It's like if you learn to play the piano, most people play other people's music. And then there's a point you've learned so much that you're able to create. And I think those three skills are the most important skills. So I look at the areas that matter most and say, who already has that extraordinary pattern recognition utilization? So I go to Ray Dalio, who's, returned more money to investors than anyone alive. He's going to have a different level of understanding than the average person. And because I immerse myself so much, most of these interviews are supposed to be 30 minutes. And the average one was 3.5 hours. And so, but like Ray Dalio is now a dear friend of mine. I can pitch and catch with him because I came so over-prepared, and because I could, again, not just catch the ball he threw, but pitch it back. And so to me, that's what I did. I did for total immersion. It was a 3.5-year project, and then expanded. I wrote, Unshakable after that, because I saw what was going to happen in the markets and I wanted people prepared. And that's why I'm doing Life Force right now. Life Force was driven because I've always taught health elements. You and I both are kind of biohackers in our lives. I have to be. My average seminar is 12 or 13 hours a day. I go 4 days minimum. Over the last few years, I've had all these groups that measure Olympic athletes and professional athletes measure me. And to give you an idea, I burn 11,300 calories in one day on stage. No one believed it. I didn't believe it either, but I do. I burn 4,000 before I get on stage. Chess masters burn 4,000 without moving. So that's basically what happens. But I also, to give you an idea, I push my body, lactic acid. If you're running with a friend and you get where you can't speak anymore, you're at a 4 of lactate. I'm at an 18 of lactate and still speaking. They just couldn't believe it. I have 15 pounds more of lean body mass than the average lineman does in the NFL. So the demands, I jump 1,000 times in a day on average, is what they measured. I weigh 282 pounds. So they're explaining to me, every time I come down, it's 4 times your body weight. So 1,000 times 1,000 is 1,000,000 pounds of pressure per day. And I've been doing that for 45 years. So if you saw my bone density, they showed it in a graph and they go, these are humans. These are the greatest Olympic athletes. This is something we never measured before. It's 99.999% stronger than anything they've measured of any human. So those demands are huge, but then, I'm still not infallible. So I go snowboarding and I'm chasing a 22-year-old, which the age isn't as much as the skill, a lot more skill than I had. And oh my God, I had an accident. I tore my rotator cuff so bad, 9 pain, wouldn't go away. Went to all the doctors. He needs surgery. What's the recovery time? 4 months to 6 months. I'm like, I have friends who still can't bring their shoulder down. And I've had other ones re-injure it. And so I went and looked around, and what started me really on this is I said, okay, what are my other options? What about stem cells? I met Dr. Bob Harari. He's kind of like one of the founders of stem cells.
I know him well.
Guy that did those, Bob. He did those original studies where they took old rats and gave them young rats' blood. We've all heard about it now, and vice versa. And the old rats got young and young rats got old, kind of vampire stuff. But as a result, they discovered stem cells and what they could do. And Bob said, Tony, you won't get them here. Go to this place in Panama. You'll get 4-day-old stem cells that are from the cord. They're not obviously fetal cells in any way. I wouldn't do that. And I went down, and the first day I felt okay. The second day I felt really tired. The third day I woke up, not only was my shoulder perfect, and I mean perfect in 3 days. I could do anything with it. I've had the MRI, but I had spinal stenosis for about 14 years. And I woke up for the first time in my life without back pain.
Hope you enjoyed the episode, brought to you by our sponsor, Ombre Lab.